I got into art by my dad. When I'd go to church, my dad would have me, when I wasn't paying attention, he'd have me drawing in like the offering envelopes. And I specifically remember him telling me to draw an elephant once, and that's about it. But I think like those are my first cohesive like drawings where I can like remember doing something. It's like an elephant and a dog, one at church, one on a really busted canvas. In the beginning, I started with traditional and built off of that, and then it kind of just has progressed on its own by meeting people and just kind of exploring different mediums and shit like that, I guess. I mean, and I draw everything digitally, so that still plays a pretty big role, I think. But generally, like as far as like medium goes, like tattooing and graphic, like digital stuff is mostly what I do. I try to paint, but I kind of suck at it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly just like from there I learned like a lot of stuff about like composition with schooling and stuff like that. So I guess that affected it, but I think like tattooing more than any other medium has affected my tattooing, like meeting other tattooers and stuff like that in general. When people ask, it's, I mean, the general response is, I don't know, Google it, but that seems shitty, so I don't actually like that. I say abstract neo-traditional. Like if I had to say something, I mean, by definition, it's neo-traditional. It's using traditional components, a bold outline, try to use heavy amounts of black, and then obviously it's neo-traditional because I'm not doing straight traditional, and then I kind of just try to keep it weird. So abstract neo-traditional, I'd say. I use Eternal ink. I use Talons for black and then Eternal ink. It's pretty much all I use at this point for pigments. Like all their new sets, like the new Chook set is fucking amazing. It's like really muted. I love just the color tones in general. As far as machines go, I use Relay and Rotary. Joshua Bowers has built me a couple machines that I'm crazy about. I have some from Keith B. I just got one from Dan Cuban, the Sidewinder, and it's just effortless. It's awesome. It just puts in a thick line like nothing I've used before. That's pretty much what I'm using right now, those guys. I have one old Neotat, the Gen 1 Neotat, that is just a workhorse for me. It's never failed, so I think that's about all I have, really. Maybe like some Seth B's and stuff, I don't know. Timmy B is opening a shop in Northampton, Massachusetts called Tattoo Afterlife. And the goal is that next spring I'll be going there. I'll still be traveling a lot. That'll be my new home base is the plan. And then I'd like to just start hitting Europe a lot more just because it's closer. The East Coast is closer to Europe, so cut like 5 hours out of my flight. That'd be nice. But yeah, that'll be home for a little while. I'm going to start doing guest spots there soon. Like as soon as they open, I'll start doing guest spots and reoccurring guest spots, and then slowly the idea is that I'll just move there. And it's a great shop to learn at. I worked with Timmy once before at the other Tattoo Afterlife, and just working with him a couple days, I felt like I walked away knowing some new stuff. So it's really nice. Like it'll be a really cool environment for me to build, I think. I just feel like I have an opportunity right now, and it'd be silly not to take it. So I just try to travel while I can. Like I've been a couple different countries. I've been around the world with tattooing, so it's fucking rad, But I'm trying to do it more. I like it, I don't want to stop it now. There's only so much you can see in real life, and like the internet is awesome, and you can see all these amazing artists all around the world. But like, once you actually see something not on a 1 inch by 1 inch square on your phone, like it changes stuff. Like when I'm in Australia and I got to see some of those guys who I look up to, and I got to see some of their tattoos in real life and see like Rachie Brains, I got to see like a full back piece while I was there of hers, and like those pictures do nothing for you actually get to see the detail, and like I don't know, it makes you like appreciate like the technical components more than just like taking a picture. When you see how like smooth her transitions are on a large scale, it's awesome. It's really cool. So yeah, I think traveling the world has absolutely like changed the way I like look at tattooing and how I do tattoos as well. It's weird, man. I love where tattooing is because of the opportunities it's given me, and I love being able to travel the world and everything. but it's also kind of really weird for me. It's a double-edged sword, you know, like it's awesome because it's created all this opportunity for everyone, but at the same time it's also made tattooing less of a subculture. Like, I like the idea that tattoos were built off of like an industry of pariahs and stuff. These are outcasts who, and initially, you know, it's sailors and shitty dudes getting tattooed, you know. Now it's like, now I tattoo lawyers and stuff, and that's not bad, but it makes tattooing not feel like a tattoo shop anymore, you know. Like, now you have to be polite, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be polite, but like, now you have to, or you have to be afraid you're gonna get a shitty Yelp review. And I don't know, tattoos are punk rock, man. Like, you come into a tattoo shop and there's gonna be maybe some music you don't like playing, or maybe you like that shit, who knows. But like, the tattoo should feel punk rock, I think. Like, I like that. Like, you come in and you don't know exactly what you're gonna get, and it's gonna come out one way or another. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, I don't know. But so the industry's kind of fucked with that, I think, and now you have to be worried about what the internet says. I don't know. It's weird. I fight with it all the time. Like, I love where tattooing is, and I hate where tattooing's going. Before I became a tattooer, I wanted to start a merch company, like a graphic design company that works specifically with bands. I wanted to do like t-shirts, web design, CDs, all that stuff, just generally for bands was the idea. I used to be involved in music and the hardcore scene and stuff like that, so I thought it'd be cool to like kind of give back to that. But I don't know, maybe one day I still will do something like that, who knows. They're pretty intertwined, like, and so often I find myself relating tattooing to hardcore music in general. There's countless songs, one by H2O that says like, what happened to the reason for screaming, you know, like, what happened to the music and the message. And I feel that way about tattooing too. I'm like, well, what happened? That's what I meant before when I said tattoos are supposed to be punk rock, and it doesn't feel that way all the time now. And I wonder, like, how did that go away? Like, those TV shows? I don't know, but like, I think they're really intertwined, like, physically and like mentally. Like, they're very much the same kind of thing, like same kind of feeling to them to me. But they also have some of the similar problems, I think. You know, Hot Topic fucked up a lot of hardcore, and then TV shows fucked up a lot of tattooing. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty shameful in the industry to say you're a self-taught tattooer. A lot of times, like, people frown upon the whole scratcher shit, and like, I frown upon it. If someone comes into me now and is like, yeah, I'm trying to learn myself, I'm always like, don't, man, that's a fucking horrible way to do it. It took a long time. I think the one benefit of it for me is that I have a chip on my shoulder in regards to tattooing and like being self-taught. Like, I want to keep progressing. Like, I constantly want progression because of that. Like, I guess I crave people's admiration in general. I don't know, that seems weird to say, but I don't know, it was hard, man. Like, I think about it all the time. Like, if I would have done an apprenticeship, I could probably be a better technical tattooer at this point. But, you know, maybe the route could have been so different that like my art would be so different and I wouldn't be here. So I don't regret it, but I also don't suggest it for anyone to be like a self-taught like scratcher. Pretty much, I fucked up a lot of people first, man, and now I have to fix all that shit, and it sucks. If you really respect the industry, this sounds so shitty to say, but if you really respect the industry right now, you'll perfect your craft on drawing, I think, and wait until, like, I don't know. I feel like people should just wait to try to be tattooers right now, and not because of, you know, some people are like, oh, competition. It's not because of that. I think, like, it seems more and more so these days that people who are doing apprenticeships don't really appreciate what their apprenticeship is, and they don't understand, like, they see Instagram and they're like, oh man, this guy has this many followers, and sometimes you look at apprenticeships and they have, like, apprentices have 20,000 followers, and it's like, well, how the fuck did that happen, man? Like, so they kind of builds an ego first. Like, I think if you're serious about an apprenticeship, you find someone and you fucking work for them, and you don't ever tell a soul that you're an apprentice. You just fucking do it, you know, like, if you're really serious, you'll just go. You'll make it happen, but you don't have to like do the glorification of it right now. So I think if you're gonna do this, you have to be serious, and that's I mean, like, serious about the craft, not the quote unquote fame that comes along with it. You know, like, do what you love what you do, kind of thing. Number one is, I mean, it's Salvador Dali and Alphonse Mucha over and over. Like, no matter what, I see a cool tattoo and that's cool, but I pretty much always go back to like the composition of like Art Nouveau stuff with like Mucha, and then like as far as abstract stuff, like Dali is just, you know, on a whole nother level. I was just in Florida and I got to go to the Dali Museum, and there's prints I've seen 100 times and they're really amazing. And then when I saw them in real life for the first time, you like, there's a city in their eye, you know, like there's stuff you never see. So like, I think that Dali, even without knowing that Dali was influencing me, certain things, like he does stuff that I try to emulate now, and it just blows my mind every time. So without a doubt, those two, I'd say. And tattoo wise, like Adam Hayes has really sculpted a lot. Jeff Horn has sculpted me a lot. Like I said, Kate Arceda was the first one who kind of showed me that you could make really weird, out of this world tattoos. I'd love to just be a better tattooer. Like, on a technical standpoint, it would be great to make tattoos that I can look at in 5 years and say like, yeah man, I kind of knew what I was doing back then. I'd like to continue to like maybe get like larger scale pieces. I'd like to start working on a little bit larger scale. I really don't like doing like sleeves. I love like fronts and backs, you know, like if I had my choice, that's where I'd go. I don't know, I think the goal is more of a personal goal of life instead of tattoos. Like, I'd like to continue to make my tattoos better, more legible, and like be like concentrating on what they're gonna look like in 10 years, but more so, you know, I'd like to just keep traveling the world and taking advantage of what I have right now, and it's pretty cool, and I just want to keep going with that and see where that takes me. Like, life is more important to me than tattooing, even though tattooing is kind of my life.